Something
Siete en
like that.
español.
Bilingual.
Yeah, I'll take
I
it.
say episode.
Episode.
Half Puerto Rican one over here can't say
I'm going to count to
episode.
10 for you.
All right. You guys look good again.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm trying to put my phone on.
No, you trying to text your accountant. Don't try to. You trying to.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I got to move Cashapp from.
You know what I'm saying?
It's green dot cards.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rush card.
How's everybody feeling today? Y'all feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
Feeling like something.
How y'all feeling about these topics today before I even get into them?
Good.
Fire.
Good.
You know what I'm gonna do one day? I'm not even gonna tell you. I might just have surprise topics one day.
I think so too.
We got to come up with the surprise topics to give you.
Maybe.
Give me 4 surprise topics by the
That's the surprise.
Yeah, you know what? People love the improv from us. You know, I hear a lot of people. You can tell it's off script.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People know, like, you know, this is not rehearsed. So I think people definitely love that.
That's the best that we don't rehearse.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
We may
like
talk
it.
about the topics, but we
You're gonna make my mom's happy today because she'll be like, why he always got his glasses on? He got his glasses off, Mom.
And I want to make it clear too. Episode two, I wasn't the only one crying. He was crying. He had his glasses on. He had his glasses on. So I don't want y'all to take that for granted like I'm the big one out here crying. He was crying, and Mike was a tear up too, but the cameraman didn't know.
He didn't catch it?
Yeah,
He cut my tears out.
Klein didn't get it, and then
My tears. My tears went in the vault.
Bigger had a bad cry episode.
Yeah.
It's cool. Let them know.
You're gonna do your tears
Yo,
in post.
listen. You know what? I just want to tell everybody, please like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe button. It's very important that you do that. Like, subscribe, and comment. We want all your feedback, so we definitely gonna come back to you. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is what we're here for. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw a really good conversation in the Instagram comments. You guys are killing it.
I was gonna say I get a lot of text
appreciate
messages and DM messages, but I want y'all to jump in the comments and let other people know how y'all feel because I'm getting good feedback, but I kind of want to share that
put
with
that
everybody.
in the comments.
Yeah,
Tell me how you
Don't
feel in
just
the
tell me,
comments.
put it in the comments.
Because I got one better for y'all. For now on, when y'all start DMing us, don't get screenshotted and put up on Instagram.
Copy
don't
and
do
paste.
it. Copy and paste you.
Copy paste.
All right, let me get these topics percolating, guys.
Get my book,
All right, the book of science. It's Matthew, Mark, Luke, Mike, and John.
the book of Mike.
Yeah, he's in the Gnostic books.
Gnostic.
He's in the Gnostic books.
My apocryphal book. Go ahead.
The Apocrypha.
Good.
What chapter should we turn to, my brother?
The chapter Siete. The book of Siete.
Might be tricking if you got it. OnlyFans, Cash App. Are platforms like OnlyFans a form of sex work?
Yes, this is going to be a controversial one, but yes. So if I liken it to my idea of sex work, I could think of 2, which would be prostitution, only legalized at the Bunny Ranch in say it,
Vegas?
Nevada. He know where it's at. He know where it's at. Legalized at the Bunny Ranch. And
So don't tell nobody.
another
Because I saw
form.
it on the news. Lamar did some passed out there, right?
Yeah.
Look, another form of sex work would be stripping. Stripping is a form of sex work. So if you're doing anything that
love strippers.
if you're doing anything that you would normally question your morality and you're doing it for $1, then it's likely a form of sex work.
Does
So,
morality click in on that, though? Is that like a moral thing?
yeah, I think if you are comfortable to get behind a screen and kind of use that buffer as a bouncer, but you wouldn't go in a club to dance in front of those same men that are paying you on your app or whatever it is, your OnlyFans page, if you wouldn't normally dance for those men in the room naked and you're doing it to solicit $1, then that's a form of sex work.
Well, I'll be devil's advocate on that one. Sometimes dudes go to the club to have cheap offs. So I mean, on
Cheap
the
offs.
yeah, because you know you go there, you hold your money, you be like, I ain't giving her $1, I ain't giving her $1. You hold on to your dollars until you get the one you
Yeah,
like.
but she's working.
But if you're doing it on the app, you might be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just spend this $1.99 and watch her shake her ass.
That's fine, but she's still working for that $1.99. So as long as she knows what she's doing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with stripping.
I know there ain't nothing wrong with
There's
it.
nothing wrong with
sex work.
There's nothing wrong with if you choose to solicit your body for money, then you can choose to do
Pussy
that.
lips so loud for $1,000.
Edit. So, if you admit to what you're doing, then it's fine. If you admit to what you're doing, then it's fine.
All right, Bigger. Platforms like OnlyFans
Pussy
a form of
badass.
sex work.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be respected as such. There's nothing wrong with sex work. It should be respected as just work. Some people work in different industries.
What you guys do? Are platforms like OnlyFans a form of sex work?
Nah, it is. I'm saying, what you doing it for? You want to gain some money from showing that tail. So if you want to show your tail, you want to gain some money as a form of sex work.
You want to see some ass? I want to
see some ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Top lock and
I
drop
don't
it.
know. I don't know if this is a fair question because I mean, I feel like with OnlyFans, I feel like in a weird way. I know I'm gonna sound like a weirdo on this one. I think it's like an art though, because I know people have like foot fetishes. People have different things on there. It's not just showing ass. So I mean, it could be viewed as. I mean, to dumb it down, it would be sex work, but I think it is accessibility to people who don't have access to something. If I'm a guy who may not have access to this female, I mean, I don't know if it's sex work.
It is sex
No,
work.
but it depends on what it is, though. Like, if it's you doing the OnlyFans to show your lifestyle and what you're doing during the course of the day, and
Even if we narrowed it down,
Nobody's
that's
paying
good
for that shit.
But if no, that's not true.
Yeah, people do pay
But
for that.
People pay for feet.
95% of that
People
platform is for naked
People pay
women.
for, no, people pay for eating. People do that eating thing.
That's the ASMR shit.
Mukbang.
That's
Yeah, I
YouTube.
just
But
heard
people
about
are not
that.
paying subscriptions
Mukbang,
for that. Mukbang shit.
Mukbang, I just heard about that.
But
That's crazy.
just like any other job, you're trading your time for money or you're trading your skill for money. Getting naked is not a skill.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
don't
not.
know.
It's not a
Yes,
skill.
it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Everybody ain't seen
No,
the
it's
signs.
not. Dancing may be a skill.
No.
You know the difference between a fucked up stripper and a stripper that's working and worth your dollar. Whereas, if this girl was to get naked and get in the shower, she looks the same as her being naked in front of the camera.
after 3 drinks, I
you
think
can't do
everybody's
anything
the same.
different about your nudity.
Everybody
Yes,
gets
you can.
No, you can't.
Listen, I remember. I don't want to
I wanna
snitch
see
on
how
who
you-
was there.
Okay.
But I remember going
I
to a
was
strip
not.
club one time, and this lady decided that she was going to undress herself to every last individual person, and act as if I didn't see her do it 7 times before she got to me.
That was the art. That was the art.
Oh yeah, that was art.
That was
Yeah.
art.
Because
was her
it was
routine.
something. I just saw her do it 7 other times, and she stood right in front of me and do.
Yeah.
But was you amazed?
He was like,
But I'm
he was
asking
like, he was like, yo, she just
No,
did
I
that
just
shit.
saw. I just
but
saw it
you
7
just saw
times.
you just saw it 7 times, but you was not amazed by it. Was
It's
you
like-
amazed by the first time she did it?
The first time over there, way over there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
you want a
so.
funny story?
I thought it
About,
was
quick
dope.
story, funny story
Okay.
about
Go ahead.
getting in the strip clubs. So we was young one time. I know this is a
Oh,
little
no.
off topic, but
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
I'm about
funny-
to say, don't
No,
say
it
nothing about
is.
It's on the
minutes.
topic. Sex work.
No. I'm gonna compare. So we were going to a strip club. We was underage. Well, I was underage. He was underage. He was the only one of age. He looks
Always.
underage, right? But he was only underage by like a month, and I think we were drinking for no reason. Absolutely, he was driving us. We driving. We put up to the club, and I swear, because I was a kid, the most beautiful women in the world was there to me. Like,
And yeah, we was
I
peeking
don't
through the
care.
door.
Yeah.
It was the night. It was that night.
So we had a plan. I always look. Oh, so we had a plan. I say, yo, I'm gonna just say I left my ID at home. I'm gonna talk,
And I'll just hit him with the we
and hit him
cool.
with the cool,
Yo,
yeah.
what's up? What's up? How you
So
doing?
we
What's
get to
going
the
on?
door. We get to the door. B pulls out his ID. We good, right? He's looking at Stu. He keep looking like I don't know. He look young, right? We like, yo, Stu, just be quiet. Here go Drunky McStuffins. Yo, man, I got my ID. He pulls out an underage ID. Get the fuck from in front of the door. And he ruined my strip club experience. I never got in that night.
that
but
would have been a
that
No,
night.
night, I
listen.
got-
You can't fool me. This is when we first started drinking, so we didn't have the understanding. You know
Intro
what I mean?
days.
We didn't understand how to control ourselves at that moment. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what
Real
it
quick,
was.
if they're doing OnlyFans, are they working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they selling?
Sex.
Their body. Yeah, I guess. That's what I said to a degree, I think. But I think it's an art, though.
It's an art.
I
They're,
think it's an
they're
art.
getting paid for art, then they work.
I think it's an art to fuck with your head because at the end of the day, like I said, I've seen people do the food shit. I see people do the hands, the nails. the
Yeah, but
food.
even if those people are getting paid for their art, they're working.
yeah, I'm not,
And
I'm
if
not-
your art is sex, you're sex working.
yeah, I'm not fighting you on it. I don't think it's bad. I'm agreeing with
I
you.
think it should be also talked about it, like the health hazards and everything else. Like if you go to a job application, there's like requirements of you, right? And I think the requirements should also list like a full understanding of the stigma of what happens after you do this job. You know, like you work at a job, any other job, and once you go home, and it's over. But once these cameras are off, men will always look at you like that. And that's not a
Yep.
problem.
You get
But
recognized
you gotta
outside.
be okay
Yeah.
with that. You gotta be okay with that at all times.
I saw that happen one time. Somebody got recognized.
Like that.
No,
Somebody
not
got
treat
recognized.
her like
Nobody
that,
said
but
treat her.
you associate what you
Yeah,
see with
it's
her.
your image and perception.
That's it.
You guys are.
Your name, image,
Wait
and
a minute,
likeness.
hold on. If
If
you
I'm-
if you bumped in the Future, you wouldn't expect Future to be Future.
Yeah, and if I'm
Future's
subscribed
gotta
to
be
you,
Future, and so does Mia Khalifa.
That's like me.
No matter how she
that's
feels.
that's like me bumping in the dude who played Wolverine. I'm not gonna say pull your clothes out.
Nobody said
Nah.
pull your clothes out.
But you know
but you
he
gonna be like,
has-
yo, let me get a picture, because you Wolverine.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm paying you $10.99 a month. I'll see you. I'm saying something.
Yeah.
$10.99.
$10.99 a month.
Pull your clothes out. You tell the same
Nope,
thing.
I'm saying
All right,
something.
quick. There's gonna be a smash and grab. Is posting your Cash App tag a form of panhandling? Give me some change, Playboy.
No. No, it's not panhandling. It's just I think it's cool. I think it's cool to post your Cash App. I've never responded to somebody.
Why?
But
Because I ain't
Because
gotta
I-
put it.
I don't have to. I could just dream about everything.
just
else
like
that
to
I
look at
don't
the cool
see. I
tags.
don't need to sign up for your OnlyFans. Like I think you gave me enough on your profile pic.
Yo, Stu, smash and grab. Is posting your Cash App tag a form of panhandling?
Hell yeah! What the fuck you doing it for? Like you want somebody to pay you to see something? I don't care about that. Like for me, that just gives me like desperate vibes.
It's a turn off?
Yeah, it's a turn off for me.
How about you, Mike?
Oh.
Mike? In the book of Mike's.
Good, put
Is
in your
posting
Cash App?
Cash App tag a
Yeah,
form
hold
of
on,
panhandling?
guys.
No, it's my turn. You're going to stop cutting me off. Let's
You
go.
gonna
I didn't
stop.
cut you off.
You did twice. You did it again. Go ahead.
Is posting your Cash App tag a form of panhandling?
Not only is it a form of panhandling, but I think it's an even lazier form of panhandling. Like those guys that are, I just came out the Lincoln Tunnel. The dudes that are standing at the light are shaking the cup, walking up and down to each light. Where you just
One
post,
got to ride.
that's fine. But if you're just posting your link and you're going out for the day and you come back and people are paying you to do nothing, that's panhandling. You're sitting it out there hoping somebody gives you money for nothing. Those dudes are at least walking up and
Oh,
down.
it's for something.
They might wash your window.
You might see a nipple.
Nah,
It is
nah,
for
girls.
something.
No, that's OnlyFans is when they're gonna get something in exchange. People that are like, yo, I'm a badass girl. It's my birthday on Wednesday. Y'all hit my Cash App. She's not giving you nothing. No
giving back to
time.
the
She's not even
community.
giving you a picture for you to look at. You just see her Cash App
No
posted.
recognition
And if you
whatsoever.
are a sucker, you're gonna go ahead and pay her in hopes that she likes your $20 and one day gives you some time. But
Well, I'll be
it's a lazy
posting-
ass form of begging.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
it
planning
is.
on posting my Cash App very soon. So please drop $200 whenever you feel free. Don't
Could you
worry.
imagine if I put my Wells Fargo account online and was like, yo, if y'all feeling generous, I'm like, yo, this goofy ass.
Let's
What are
see
you
what's
What's wrong
doing?
with that?
That's begging.
Or why don't one of
What's
y'all,
wrong
because
with
we had this
begging?
debate in the beginning.
We're not
of
saying
the
there's anything wrong with it, but it is begging.
I got one better for you. We had this debate earlier. Why don't both of y'all just take your shirt off one day on live,
No.
and then we'll see who put money in your Cash App.
That'd be panhandling because I know I could get some money out of it.
No, I
Yeah,
want to do it for
I might be the
nothing.
only fan that watches.
Wait a minute. Hey,
I
yo.
might be the only fan.
Hey,
Question
yo.
yourself.
Only fan.
Is it a form of panhandling by
Oof.
posting your Cash App?
I don't know. I think this question might be contradictory. Only because if you said it's a form of sex work and that's the vein that we're driving down.
That was OnlyFans.
No, but I feel like it's in the same. The question is still in the same thing. So I feel like it's in that vein of sex work. I feel like you're soliciting the money in that same vein. I think females, like you said, they're going by their looks. So I mean, if we're gonna go with that, it's the OnlyFans is like a sex thing, then I'm gonna say no, it's not panhandling. It's part of their job. It's like it's like when the girls walk around the table at the strip club and they just go give them $1, but they didn't do shit.
Nah, these are two different girls. OnlyFans, they're going to be taking their clothes off for subscription, whereas the girls that are posting this are likely, it's going to be their birthday. It might be some chick that could potentially never have an OnlyFans. She don't look the part.
But she's doing it. But she's doing it because
She's just doing it hoping that somebody gives her $5.
Right, but she's doing it because
No,
of the way
not
she-
even. It could be Fat Nancy.
Oh, listen,
No,
let's
stop
talking
y'all
about-
shit.
It could be
Hey,
anybody,
come
whoever,
don't
you know
talk
what I'm
about Fat
saying.
Nancy.
Yeah, Skinny Nancy.
No, Skinny Samantha.
My point of my matter is it's in the vein of the same question. So
You trying
for
to say
me,
Nancy was just nasty? You
yeah,
know?
nasty Nancy in and in.
That's what you're going
No,
for.
and because it's in the same vein, I'm gonna say no.
Rather
I'm
this,
disagree
are
with
they
you.
doing anything to get that money?
Yes.
Are they worth?
You can push the question further
Yes.
you want in the same
What is
vein
it?
of the.
They're building a fan base.
No.
So
What are
That's
they?
I'm building a fan
If
base.
somebody-
to open up their OnlyFans.
Let me ask you
page.
this: if somebody posts their Cash App,
Yeah,
right?
like me.
Yeah, you post your Cash App.
Yes.
What is your intention of doing that?
I want people to show that they support me, that they rock with me. They rock with 400.
No, not.
It's till Friday. It's Cash App,
That's not yours.
the $ till Friday. That's my
We're not
Cash
talking
App.
about businesses.
Panhandling.
We're not talking about businesses. If you start a business and you want your friends to come and support you, that's not panhandling.
What I'm saying is like this.
I'm talking about if you're doing nothing
I
and
hear what you're
expecting
saying,
money.
But that's why I say in the same vein of the question, because it's under the same umbrella, I'm gonna say I understand what you're saying. I do understand you, but I'm saying that no, it's part of her sex work. Some girls, because there's some girls. If
It's
you,
not sex work.
If you're
It's
telling,
the girl on Facebook that's just posting it's her birthday on Friday.
if you told me that a girl, if you're telling me that an OnlyFans page is for a girl, it's in the same question vein. We didn't
No,
go
it's
three
two
questions
separate questions. But go ahead.
under the same umbrella. The
Yeah.
chick is soliciting herself the same
Yeah.
way, right? If she's showing her titties, she's soliciting herself. If a girl goes, "Hey, it's my birthday," she's selling you something in order to get something. It's the same solicitation. So
What
I'm
is
saying
she
it's work.
selling for her birthday?
Hold on. During live streams, people donate just because hopefully the streamer says, "Hey James, how's it going? Thanks for the sub." People just hoping for that.
That's not the
you
same
could say
thing.
that that's something that they get in return. But people are hoping that one day they say, "I'm James. I'm the guy who sent the $200."
But they're doing it, and you're taking the distinction out of it, which is work. So if somebody is working a la
That is
OnlyFans,
work.
OnlyFans is work because they're sitting up there, they're setting up a camera, they're taking off their clothes, they're engaging with people. If some girl's birthday is tomorrow, she puts up a status, "Hey, my birthday's tomorrow," with money sign Tiffany 035. She's not doing any work. She's leaving that shit there and letting y'all either pay or not pay. There's no work involved. There's no mutual exchange. Whereas OnlyFans, again, I'm paying you because I'm
get
going to
some
see
service.
you naked.
I'm
I'm
gonna get
going to
service.
potentially masturbate to your photos. But if I'm giving you money for nothing,
Not me.
what is it for?
Well, clearly,
It's not work.
Your distinction is masturbation. So I might masturbate to the pan.
No, it's work.
All right. Well, because of the Cash App, I might masturbate to the
Oh,
Cash App.
so look, OnlyFans, they got to pay taxes. The girl on the Cash App don't got to pay taxes if you give her some money for her birthday.
I'm not fighting you on that. The question was is it a form of panhandling? I do understand your line of thinking. I'm saying for me,
It's
that
work.
she's working and she's just working your intelligence level, and you're gonna pay her for nothing. She's smarter. She's working smarter, not harder.
That's not
She
work.
ain't gotta show you her titties. She said, "You know what? Pay me." All right. All I need is one mic. Communication and relationships. How important is communication in relationships and friendships? There's different color greens in this thing. Fucking me up.
There's no greens, it's gray.
It's grazed, and I think I'm going blind. Might be a dog.
Cataracts.
Yeah, it might be catching cataracts. A glaucoma kicking.
I saw it too. You're safe.
I'm saying it wasn't me, right? Communication is very, very key. And first, I'll start with relationships. I won't try to make it too long, but I think in relationships is very important because any kind of miscalculation can lead to a breakup, a cheating, financial bad decision, anything like that. I think we have to communicate with each other. I think once you start getting older too, I think you really have to make a positive effort to communicate with your significant other because you don't want to be in a situation where you do something and a few months later you like, well, I thought. I think that once you get older, putting your ego in your pocket is one of the big things. Same thing with your friends. Friends as men, a lot of times I think we don't express how we feel about certain things, whether I'm offended, whether you hurt my feelings, whether I said something that was out of the line or whatever. Me personally, I can accept anything somebody gives me. If you told me I fucked up, if you told me I cheated you, I wronged you, I was disrespectful, I hurt your feelings, I'll accept that and I'll work on it now as a person, especially for a friend. But I think that communication is key because without that, then it's like, I think that Yubika feels this way. And for me to think that, I'm going to behave different towards Yubika. And Yubika's going to then reaction and action. So without getting too crazy in it, I think that communication is, especially as you get older, is key. No matter how hurtful communication is, I think you have to have it. If you do not communicate with people, you'll end up in a spot where everybody's playing the guessing game. And that's dangerous with people who make crazy decisions. I love myself.
I agree.
Because I'm very...
Snappy.
Betty, do that again. I like it. Communication, very important, tantamount. Not in just relationships, but in also your friendships, because those are relationships of a sort. sometimes potentially, I'm not going to say more important, but just as important, because again, in those relationships, you feel like sometimes you can share more. You can explore more with your friends than you probably could in a relationship with your significant person. But I think it definitely, it's more important for reasons that we never credit. So when you communicate, more oftentimes than not, you're putting yourself in the position of a quarterback where you're going to continuously throw out how you feel, what you desire, what you expect. But too often than not, we are not the receiver in that same vein. So communication goes both ways. Yes, you have to tell somebody your thoughts, your opinions, and exactly how you feel on a particular topic. But if you're also not seeing the reception part, if you're not receiving what they're saying to you, then you're not communicating. What you're doing is you're a talking head. So if you are able to remove yourself but still relate a message to yourself, then you're communicating, because you hear what they're saying. Again, even if you disagree with that person, if you could receive their message, process it, then come up with your response, I feel like responses are cyclical. So whatever you say to a person, understand that the way that they respond to you is based on what you said. And the way that you're going to respond to them is based on how they respond in turn to what you said. So if you understand that it's a game of give and take, then you'll be better off communicating in not only relationships, but also friendships, because you provide clarity and understanding, and you don't allow things to fester.
What you got, Stu Gotti?
Pretty much what Mike is saying. I think communication is very important. In any facet of life, work, friendship, relationship. And what makes it very important is when you're communicating, you listen to understand, not listen to respond. And I think a lot of times when people are talking, you're listening so quick to have that quick comeback. But you're missing the whole message is what he's saying to you, or she is saying to you, because you're so quick to I want to be snappy. You saying this, I'm going to come back at you. And that's the problem that I feel like a lot of people have. They're not listening to understanding. They listen to rebuttal. They listen to have something come back, and I want to get my point across. I don't care what you're saying. I hear you, but I want to get my point. I'm stuck on what I want to be stuck on. So if you want to communicate, I think that's the most important thing. Listen to understand, not listen to respond so much, so you can really hear what the person is saying, so you can get he or she or that person can get their message across, and then you can be able to maneuver forward with it. And I think that's what it is best.
What you got, big communication?
A lot of times I've had a lot of relationships that I've had, like, it was weird to be in a space where, like, everything, or not just everything, but a thing that I may have been doing be misconstrued in such a way that I don't care for you, right? And that has to be, like, dealt with. Like, if I say what time are we eating dinner? And you go, what you trying to say? I'm fat? Like, that kind of harsh, like, reaction, it needs to be squared away. It doesn't need your response to be withdrawn. It doesn't need you to be overly aggressive. In that moment, that person needs to be established that you care about them, and that's not why you were asking that question, and not just throw it off like, I can't believe you went to that far place, but understand where that person's coming from. That person's feeling a little insecure. She's been dealing with her weight lately, or whatever the case might be. So I found myself in a lot of scenarios where, like, establishing what I mean, what did I mean when I said it, is important, and doing that even for is there any salt? Because it's offensive that you would salt my rice. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, be clear about everything you say. Not because it's not good. It's just that I would like a different level of spice today. You know, like, take that extra step. It's worth it to go through those things.
Got salt on your stuff.
Yeah, just put a
You
little
got a lot
bit
of
on there.
communication about food and shit. You notice, right? It's a lot of communication.
Because I don't know about chicken wings is hot.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It is. It is.
It's communication.
Start throwing other BBs.
You know what's funny?
I thought about the
You know what's
BBs
funny?
out here.
I'm gonna throw y'all a curveball too. I think that was one of the issues we had the other day when we had our conference call. Everybody was talking to make a point rather than listening to what each other was saying. We weren't doing that, and we got to be better at that when we talk to each other.
It's
we
true.
talk to respond.
Snitch.
Yeah, I'm wet snitching. A lot of people ask, what do we talk about behind closed doors? That's what happened. A lot of times we all talk, and myself, I'm guilty of it as too. I talk, like, when you're talking, I'm waiting to respond to you. Rather than, like Stu said, to hear what you're saying, receive what you're saying, process what you're saying. Because I wasn't prepared for you to say that before I was even got on the phone. I'm just listening to you talk, and I'm like, All right, maybe I need to take a minute to listen to what he said before I respond. All right, smash and grab. Does a lack of communication lead to extreme issues? I have a perfect example about that. So smash and grab. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. All the time.
You have an example of it?
Not at the moment.
All right, you don't want to share with us?
No. I'm tired of my food examples, okay? I feel like I'm taking you guys on a word buffet, and you guys are done.
There's a void, the Bordeaux. I mean, there's a void right there. You can go right there.
No. It's fine. Smash and grab. I'll take it.
Come on, man. Tell us about your seafood boil.
Bust the window.
Go ahead, Stu. Does lack of communication lead to extreme issues?
Yeah, it do. When
You
you
have an
trying,
example?
yeah. I ain't gonna say the person's name, but as far as you act,
Sheila.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
nah. But you know what it is. As far as when you dealing with a person, maybe where you at in life, and you're asking them what they're doing with themselves or where they're trying to go, they may interpret it as you think you're better than them.
Okay.
And I've been heard. I done heard that before from other
Positive
people.
talk you giving them?
Yeah, and it's not from me trying to downplay you. I just want to make sure that you headed in the right direction.
Because you would want that same thing for you.
There you go. So and then in having those conversations, the other person takes it as you're trying to belittle them, or you don't think that they're worthy, or you don't think that they're going in the right direction. It's not that. I'm just asking where you're doing.
Are you going to get up and go to work today?
No, he's just asking. You think you better than me, motherfucker?
But that, and that's pretty much what it really, that's an example of it. So as far as that goes, we went down that road.
Like Mike and the Funk Boys, what you got?
Smash.
Does a lack of communication lead to extreme issues?
It does for the issues. For two reasons. So it's either going to fester until it builds to a head and blows up in a really bad way, or it's going to fester, never be addressed, and become normalized. So if you don't talk about something that you don't like or you have issue with, and you let it continue and persist, it's going to become normal for that person. One example, and I'm making one up. It's semi-made up, but I'm just going to change the food ingredients. There was one time where I was making a particular meal for somebody, and they might have ate it 3 or 4 times with mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. I cooked mushrooms because I thought you liked mushrooms, because the first time I came over here, you had a mushroom burger. Turns out somebody else bought you that mushroom burger and you don't like mushrooms, but you still eat them because I'm cooking them. Now, both of us sitting down eating dinner for months on end, not liking the shit that I made. But again, if it's not talked about, it becomes normalized. So now I think you like mushrooms, you think I like mushrooms, and ain't nobody saying shit, and we both gagging at the end of the night. So that's an example where, again, if you're not saying anything, it could lead to bigger problems.
You gotta get your gag reflexes down, but I love mushrooms.
You can have the mushrooms. It was an example.
Yes, it does. Earlier on,
Shit's
before I
gross.
got into my relationship with my significant other, not that I missed these people or anything like that, but I had big problems with miscommunication because I thought I was communicating well when I was saying, like, I'm drawing my lines in the sand, saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna stay at your house. I'm not." So it was 2 times it happened to me actually. One person I was talking to, she was cool, and I just never, when I was young, I never really stayed at girls' houses like that. Like I didn't want to be sleeping with you at night because I didn't want to. I wasn't in that space yet, and I guess she interpreted that I wasn't being serious about the situationship, and then. I came back like a couple months later. She was married, so I'm like, God damn it, that was quick. So that happened in that situation. And another time, same thing. Talking to a girl, and then somebody was offering her something better.
I was going to say a joke, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, go ahead, tell the joke.
I'm just saying.
The joke.
You ready to put
She
pussy on
wasn't
blast.
that mad if she was married 2 months later. It's when you was leaving, somebody was coming in. So
God, say you left for a couple of months. What you expected to
Bro,
be
for
there?
a month, bro, I ain't think
somebody was coming in. So
she.
she knew you wasn't gonna stay. So Ralph was coming over after you left.
Yeah, Ralph.
Ralph with his slippers.
Ralph gonna spend
That's
the
my
night.
new thing for 8 episodes.
My man.
It's all good. You know what? Listen, I forgive her. You know what? You know who you are. I forgive you for getting married to me.
That person.
Because I got a significant other, so I'm fine. Man, your battle stations. I switched it. It's not personal.
We know this.
No, because he killed me. They killed me in the comments. They killed me in the text messages.
Yeah.
I'm going to start going out and saying her name.
You killed
Just
yourself.
make it- No, I didn't
Oh,
kill
it's her.
Everybody's killing me. Man, your battle station. Spouse and partner issues. When issues arise in your relationship, who do you turn to? when I need love. And how much do you share? Give it to you, Bigger.
I was really posing this question to y'all, so I wanted. I really was. I really don't. I don't share that much, and I don't share that much with many people. I don't talk that much about things that happen inside of my situation. So I keep it to myself, and I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know how much I should be sharing. Like, I don't want you to look at somebody I'm involved with in this light, like when you come around and you like, hey, how are you? No, reach your hand out and forget the fact I told you what she did with that dirty hand. like act like, like I don't want you to have to not
I know too much.
Yeah. You like, how you doing? I don't need that kind of thing when we're around. So I just need to know how much should I be sharing? What should I be sharing? Because if I give you my story is I'm right, and then I'm right, and can you believe she's wrong? Like, that's where I'm coming from. So how do I find a balance in, like, I think you guys have cultivated better relationships than I have. I've had some rough ones. So I don't know. I really don't know. This was a question for the comment section and from you guys in particular.
What you guys thought? I'm going to line on this one. When issues arise in your relationship, who besides me do you turn to, and how much do you share everything?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he answered the question. Pretty much him. Kush. Maybe my godmother. I share a little bit with. And that's pretty much it. You know me, I'm off the cuff. Like you say one wrong thing to me.
That's the truth.
Off with your head. You know what I mean? But
Get that phone call 11 o'clock at night. Yo, can you please? That's how the conversation starts.
No, yeah, you're right. It definitely does. But you pretty much sometimes calm me down. I still be on my shit sometimes too. But
You leave the phone open in the background. Another motherfucking thing. Still hang up. Still hang the phone up.
I'm tired of fucking chicken.
Nigga, get a duck!
I don't eat no fucking mushrooms.
Hey,
Nah,
I'm with
y'all joking, but that do be me sometimes. But
this shit ain't funny. This shit hurt.
yeah, that shit be.
Laughing at my pen, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
you know
sorry,
what I mean.
go
But
ahead,
So you share that out? You share that out of your relationship? Like,
yeah, I'm open book, man. I ain't really got too much to hide. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's, what is that? You gonna judge me? You're not gonna judge me. I don't mind. I know what I'm trying to do, what I want to do as a person. So at the end, that's just me. It's just me. So I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Mike, you might go to phone boy. What you got? Did I stop you?
Nah, go
That's
ahead. You
it,
good. You
No,
good.
it's
You
for
good.
you.
Nah.
When issues arise in your relationship, who do you turn to and how much do you share?
3 people. The first one I'm going to turn to is going to be my partner. She's going to know exactly how I feel. And admittedly, I probably won't share 100% with that person. I'm probably going to share 90% with that person only because I don't want to share something that I feel like you can utilize to hurt me. So, I mean, could you imagine if you was dating Lois Lane and she walked around with kryptonite in her purse all the time? So if I tell you something that bothers me, but you in turn use that to hurt me, now I ain't telling you shit ever again.
Yeah.
Second person I'm talking to is myself because of, again, in terms of communication, I'm gonna hear that other person, hear how they feel about the situation, how they feel about my response to the situation, and honestly have that conversation in my head, like, yo, does that make sense to you? Does what you said really make sense to her? And try and meet halfway in my mind, some kind of middle ground. But the third person, and probably the first person that I turn to for unsolicited advice, is my mama. My mother gives me honest advice that I know is not biased because I feel like we've been through so much growing up together. My mom had me when she was 18, that she's been through it all. She's been through it all to where she can give me, again, advice that's honest, but at the same time, I'm gonna give her both sides. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you what I did. I fucked up. I don't think it was that bad, but this is how she feels about it. And I want your honest feedback. And literally probably 50% of the time, it comes to some shit that I probably don't want to hear, or at least would rather hear confirmation bias. Like, yo, you side with me, right? But sometimes it's a fucking no. And that's okay because, again, I know it's coming from an honest person. And she's not just like, yo, you my baby, so I'm always going to side with you. Nah, I don't rock like that. So my mama give me honest feedback.
it's good enough.
Thank you, Ma.
Shout out to Mama Mike. Y'all know. I'll call y'all and tell y'all all the shit. I don't care. And I got to get it out off my chest. I'm not looking for validation whether I'm right or wrong. Most of the time when I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong. And when I'm right, I know I'm right because I knew I was wrong. But yeah.
Yeah, use my line, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all right. It's
Yeah, I
cool.
understood- I understood it.
Don't steal. It's all right,
Yeah,
right?
but
It's
you
all
could've
right.
put it
That
up in the
belongs to
comments.
4400.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a company word.
Yeah.
Like my
company
books.
phrase.
Company phrase. The Book of Mike. So yeah, if something is bothering me, like, let's say my significant other does something, I call, I'll make a phone call. And I'm mad right there in the moment. I'll be like, yo, or I'll call my boy Jaime, yo.
Oh, so you
Oh.
ain't saying you ain't calling me?
Sometimes you be on the roof, bro.
Oh,
You know what
my
I'm saying?
bad.
I can't talk to you sometimes.
Nah,
Sometimes
cool.
you be like, yo, I'll call you right back.
I'll pick up first.
Yeah, you do pick up first for everything. So, and when people not available, I just call, like, again, one of my immediate circle that I know is just going to hear me out. I'm not necessarily looking for advice because, again, when I'm wrong, I think for the most part, I know I'm wrong. I'm not really looking to be wrong or right. I think just getting it off my chest gives me the moment to be able to have the conversation with my significant other to say, you get on my motherfucking nerves.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be said unsolicited. Like, I think that for men, like you said a minute ago, with the vulnerability, we have to be allowed to be vulnerable because if not, we will implode. And then you can be like, oh, Stu or Mike or Biga is wilding out right now. So I think that goes back to the communication thing. We have to cultivate that thing where you're able to kind of express how they made you feel without having to feel like you're going to get fact-checked later on with your vulnerability. Like, oh, well, you was crying like a little bitch last week when I didn't make your favorite meal for your birthday, you hoe. And now you just call me a hoe, and then, you feel away. So for me, the person I communicate with is basically any of my close circle who got ears right there in the moment. Then I need to get it out. And I think it's healthy to get it out because when you hear yourself saying these things out loud, you can hear when you're right and you're wrong. You be like, yeah, and then I ain't fill a car up with gas. And you say it to yourself like, shit, I probably shouldn't have did that. She had to get to work at 6 o'clock. Right? You saying it out loud, right? Yeah, then I smacked all the food off the table. Oh, yeah, that could have been seen as like anger issue.
Yeah, you're aggressive.
When you saying it out loud,
yeah.
it was...
Can I get a PSA? Because I know what I said,
don't clean it up, dirty man.
No, listen.
Dirty mouth.
Listen, I don't want people to think I'm out here be wilding
Yeah, you're true.
and be like I'm very out of pocket. I have my moments. Yeah, and like he said, you got to get it out. And at the end of the day, so that's pretty much what it is. But I do be in my moments in those zones, but I don't act like that to the other person.
It's just the way you communicate.
Yeah.
I've learned a long time ago that bitch is a bitch. That's just it.
Whoa, this.
Whoa, what is the 40-year-old virgin?
That's the way he talks. That's the way he talks. That's just the way he talks. It has no more gravity than those 4 letters.
A quick smash and grab. Whoa, how valuable is the feedback you receive?
That's the part, right? Because I don't. You said it's to just get it off your chest, right? But I always worry about, like, how do you look at me? Because I allowed it, right? I allowed that sucker shit. I allowed her to call me a hoe. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she ain't cooked my favorite meal. And
What you could call her a bitch?
She could have called me a bitch.
That's the worst thing you could probably call a man.
Yeah,
Probably.
one of them. I got
Although-
another one.
All right.
Sucker.
Yeah,
you
but
can't say
how do I value that? Like, I don't want you to look at me funny, and I don't want you to look at my reaction like, oh, I got one less friend today because he's a crazy person walking
No, that's
around
not
here
a real
saying
friend
that
though.
kind of
Because
thing.
I think at the same time, like as a friend, like even I've spoken to you about. I know you playing coy on TV. I've spoken to you a lot about your relationship issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't look at anybody you with when you're with them like you're a dirty little whore. I don't do that. At the end of the day, like I still.
But that's what makes it a safe space, and that's why I enjoy it, or I do talk to you.
Yeah.
But it worries me to go like, hey, Mike, so if your girl call you a bitch, call you a bitch,
Yeah.
man, if she ever was to do that to me,
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on, I didn't want that level of aggression. I just wanted you to know how you may handle it.
I don't want to do that. I'm
Yeah,
not ready to
good
break
thing
up.
you ain't call me.
Yeah, I'm not ready to break up.
I'm trying to forgive her. Tell me how to forgive her.
Sort it out.
Yeah, we put you at your grab. How valuable is the feedback you receive?
Oh man, it's valuable to a certain extent. I would say if it's coming from a genuine place and it's not coming from a place of her trying to manipulate the situation. You know what I mean?
From your friend though. If
From
you're-
your
if-
friend?
If your friend is giving you this feedback, how valuable is the?
Nah, it's definitely right because it gives a different outtake on what you're doing and how you're maneuvering. So
Somebody
it
not, like,
could
directly
get directly involved. So cooler heads prevail. That's always the saying that they say. So you have someone that's coming from the outside and they telling you like, yo, Stu, you know you was wrong for that. And I could be like, all right, you right. You right. I give it to you. I was wrong.
Fuck that. That's exactly how that conversation.
Now, I may say that, but I may not. I may say that at the moment,
But not react that way.
Not react that way.
Do you
understand?
feel like you call that person that is going to validate for that?
No,
topic?
I'm
That's
not
part
looking
of
for
my answer.
validation. I'm not looking for validation. I'm just sharing.
No. Just like I said, if I call Mike and Mike says, "You let her call you that," like I'm like, wait. That's not where I am, so I am kind of making a phone call with the intent
But
of
you
trying
know,
to get.
but see, that's the thing.
You trust
got-
some people
so
solicit.
That's my answer though. I think that the best advice is gonna come from somebody that's third party that has no dog in the fight. So for a lot of the issues, I probably won't go to my mother because again, I know that like you were
You're a
just
baby.
saying, like she might give me some real honest advice that I might not want to hear. It might be like, yo, leave that fucking girl alone. I'm
That's
like,
the
oh,
what's
I
up,
don't
though.
want to break up with her.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
tell
a
me
cheat
something
sheet.
different.
That's a cheat sheet, though.
But
No,
you,
but
but you
that's
know,
why-
but you
that's
know
why
what you
you
want
get
to
a
do
third
though.
party
When you do
person.
tell these people, you know what route you really want to go in. You know what you want. You say you don't want to break up with her, or you say I'm not trying to go that way. You just really just sit here and you want a person to have a voice to express yourself, not to sit there and say I'm gonna go the full throttle. Yeah, I may say I'm gonna go full throttle, but I'm not gonna go full throttle. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I say the shit, but I don't mean it. I'm just talking
All right.
because I'm mad.
Quick on this one, Mike. What you got on that one?
The same thing. I
Same
think
thing?
again, if you're looking for advice, you have to be honest with yourself to say, I'm seeking advice and I'm going to actually heed some of that advice. But if you're looking for somebody just to hear you out, say that in advance. Don't ask them for advice and then not take the fucking advice. I think that's the worst thing you could do to somebody is go, you know what, this is not working, this is not working. What should I do? You should do this. I ain't gonna do that, but I'm gonna call you next week and tell you that this shit still ain't working. Well, why are you calling me for any kind of advice if you're not
That's
gonna listen
true.
to it? So again, you got to be honest with yourself and say, yo, do I really want to take advice from somebody or do I want somebody to be an ear? And if that's okay, if you want somebody to be an ear, let them know that.
To answer that for me is I think I'm very fortunate to be blessed with all you guys. I receive all the information you guys give me. I don't think any of it is immature. I'm not an extremist. Well, yeah, I am. Disregard.
He just want to move on.
Sorry,
He realized he was about to go live.
sorry,
Insert bullshit here. Insert bullshit.
Well, I guess.
Flag me. All right.
Ooh, good segue.
Yeah, you like that, right?
I saw you, I saw
Flag
you.
on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, red flags, and black smoke. What are some relationship red flags for you, Stu?
For me personally, when you first start to talk to a girl, female begging, I think that's a red flag to me. It just gives me
Begging. Give me an example of begging.
Cashapp.
definitely that. Like when you first meet someone, you really trying to understand who they are, learn them personally. So the line of communication, that's why we having these conversations. And the first time you talking to them, or you're talking to them, every time you talk to them, oh, you know what, I'm kind of hungry today. You know, what's for lunch? Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to talk to you, and for me, it's not that I don't have it. That's not the issue at all. But for the most part, it's just like, all right, cool. Let me be the person that's gesture those things to you and stop being so begging. Like, you know
But
what I
she
mean?
gotta let you know what you're going through. She's just dealing with hunger right now.
No, but she be digging for hunger and she may be for other people. So what am I doing? So if you got 4 people giving you money for lunch,
But
what
she
do-
still happens to be hungry.
but all right, so what we doing? We buying her. She need a meal prep. That's what she need to do.
She needs a meal prep.
Like
what
I
are the
said.
relationship red flags for you, Ubika?
She not hungry.
The language, like the
She
way
not hungry is red flags.
Yeah, it is a
You
red
mean
flag.
you not hungry?
How dare you? Second lunch.
Exactly. Where's your plate? Nah, but you made me forget. Read it again.
What are some relationship red flags for you?
I don't know. We're gonna have to cut
I got
this.
some. I could jump in for you.
Because
Double Dutch.
I got thrown off.
Tag me in. Come on.
No, I got one better for you.
Tag me in.
What does a girl do when you meet her that just turns
Oh,
you
I
on?
said it was the language. That's what I said. No, language. The way you speak to me. Like, I need to know.
Yeah.
I need you to. Like, I know that it could be confusing that you care about me at times. Like, especially if it's something new or whatever the case might be. But the way you speak to me. Like, I need you to reiterate that you care and that you're not just being me.
And
You
I'm
know
a
what I mean?
man. I'm a fucking man.
Like, when you tell me not to wear those same clothes again, I need you to not think that I'm a bum and realize that I'm just saving on laundry. Like, I need you to convey that to me.
I'm comfortable.
Justify your cheap shit.
Mike, you know what? You was right. You was right. You told me to switch the mic.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm tagged already.
No, but that is it. I need you to convey
Off the
that
top
it's
rope.
not okay. Listen, I think you should. Obviously,
Expand your horizons with the pants and shit. Yeah, you wear some
yeah,
different ones.
just be nice. Just be nice. The
Be
way
nice
you
to
talk to
me.
me. I used to be in a relationship and somebody used to say to me, I'd be like, hey you, and they go, what? And I go,
Hey, you.
you know what is disrespectful, right? And she said, yeah, I know. I said, so why do you say it? She said, because I'm grown.
Ooh.
That shit. That's a huge red
I got
flag.
one for ain't no respect
Obviously.
like disrespect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What you got? What's the red flags for you, Mike?
My red flag probably walks down that same avenue, but I think it's if you see how somebody talks to their parents and it's a way that you wouldn't talk to your own parent.
That's not true.
That's my red flag.
No, I'm
That's
not
my
saying
red flag. That's my red flag. That's my red flag. Yeah, I was gonna say 95% of the people that grew up with their parents and have a decent relationship in terms of being raised by their parents should have a level of respect for their parents. That's what I mean. So if I meet somebody who flies off at the mouth, curses at their mother and their father in a certain way, these are the people that you should hold in regard. Most people should hold in regard on, high esteem, high echelon. And I hope to be right below them. Mm-hmm. So if you treating them like down here and I'm supposed to be right below them, I don't trust you to give me that same respect, to give me even more respect than you're not giving them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one red flag. And my second red flag would be, what you said before, is lying, but it's how people lie. If you're telling a little white lie, that's okay. But if you're telling somebody like, yo, I'm going to be at your house. I'm going to be at your house in 30 minutes. I'm going to be at your house in 30 minutes to help you with something. But you're not leaving your house for an hour and a half. I think that shit is egregious. Like, you're willing to create a lie so much that you even believe it. I think that shit's weird and it's a red flag for me.
That's Trevor Pussy?
We got edit this shit.
Why?
Go ahead.
Why? 'Cause he said
Go on.
Say-
We said it twice. Put it on the glass and everything.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Say, who's your daddy? Me. You're a liar.
Trevor!
You're a liar. You know what? Mine actually is voluntary lies. I don't like voluntary lies. Don't voluntarily lie to me. If I paint you into a corner and say, where'd you go? And you like, I went out with Tanya. Fine. But when you just wake up and you like, last night I did this and I know that you're making this whole shit up, it bothers me because
Still
if
dealing
you
with that trauma, that breakup.
she did a lot of lying. What was the episode of that?
I think that was like number 3, maybe 4.
I'm
killed
dealing with
2
that trauma
fathers.
because my thing is like when you just go out your way to lie about something, and I think most people that know me, friend for whatever, like I accept people for however you are. I don't care what your situation. If you got $1, don't got $1, you got $500,000. If you had sex with 86 people, if you didn't, if you're a virgin, I don't care. When you start voluntarily lying to me, that annoys me because to me that means you'll go to no end to sound a certain way or be a certain way, and I don't like being in circumstances when that's. If you're forced to lie, then that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm good with a good lie. If I ask you a question and you have to lie. But if I don't ask you shit and you just call me up or you texted me some lie, that's a red flag for me at that point. Voluntarily lies, and especially when you early on are dating people, like if the understanding is we're not in a committed relationship and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And they're like, if I say what are you doing and then now you tell me something, I get it. But if I didn't ask you nothing and you start telling me about what you did.
Yeah. Later, I'm going out with my sister to such and such, but you.
And you know I'm not even
with another.
Yeah, and you know
I'm
not. You know I'm not even the person to even ask. But I'm in my situation now. I'm not sitting up here asking them where'd you go. I don't do that now. I've never been that person. I'm not the person like you're lying. I don't give a fuck about that. And once you know that about me,
share your location.
I'm not with weird shit like that. That's that show you. That's this guy. That shit I don't even watch that shit. The show on Netflix. They do that here stalking. They made that shit popular. I'm like, that's not cool, guys.
Mm-hmm. But women love it though.
Yeah.
Bang bus. Bang bus.
It's a smash and grab, right? This ain't no more smash and grab.
We gotta do something else.
What? You know what? I like my smash and grab. You have a smash and grab session.
Go smash it.
Like Nori and I'm having what's it? Quick time with Slime. I'm gonna smash and grab.
You forgot your ad libs, so there you ain't do a beat, no beats, none of that. Go ahead. Though.
Are you in here to? That was Hambo. Oh, that was that. Come on, man. That was Afro beats. I did that for you, Bika.
Yeah, smash and grab.
No, it ain't smash and grab, but this way you say what you want. Take as much time as you like on this one, all right?
Monologue.
What could be perceived as your red flag?
Distance. Like
Emotional distance, or you mean physical distance?
mostly like texting. Like I don't need to respond to this right now, so I feel the person feels distant from me, right?
That's like when I text you, I feel distant. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
He said he changed his voice. Yeah,
3 days later.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. But that creates distance, right? Because in this world of like, respond to me, I grew up checking the voicemail and then answering that one special call, which was you. And we stayed on the phone till 10 o'clock until somebody came and told you had to get off the phone.
Yo, Chris gotta get off the phone.
But I like that world that we used to live in. But now it's just serious, like, respond to me. And that kind of distance, like, I think that is a red flag. Because what is he doing? I don't ever explain my distance.
I'm not
either.
important enough.
Yeah.
What are your red flags, Trevor?
that's hard.
This red
I wouldn't.
bandana.
But I've heard from other people, I'm short. You know, my temper is short, and my not temper as far as acting out or being wild crazy with my words, but
But a bitch is a bitch. Go ahead, say it.
yeah, man. My patience level is very short. I heard that. I would say that's one of my red flags. My patience level for certain things is short, you know, and I don't really give people enough time to really figure it out or for them to understand
Respect
it.
on people and their feelings, too.
I do care. I really do
Stu
care.
cares. We gonna start
I
we gonna start a
care.
program. Stu cares.
I
The Stu
care.
Cares program.
I want you to know I care.
You knew that shit was coming.
I care. But,
Stu
you know,
cares.
like I said, you know, I get annoyed quick, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Short
You
fuse.
know.
Short fuse.
yeah.
You trying to say that because he's short?
I thought that he was saying that at first. I was like, that's fucked up. He said, I'm short.
All right, what you got, Mike? What could be perceived as your red flag?
I didn't notice until it became a thing. I have a child, which means that I'm going to forever have a relationship with another woman. That doesn't mean I'm going to have a sexual relationship with that person, but that may mean like you come in the room and I'm arguing on the phone with somebody and it may have nothing to do with you. So you have to realize that I have a separate relationship outside of the one that we have. And for some people, that shit is not okay. What'd she say? Why is she yelling? What's she talking about? That's not your business. I yelled with her for 10 minutes. I put that shit away. Now me and you can go focus on us. But
Interesting.
I also know that for a lot of women, like that's a potential red flag.
I'm
Because
gonna
you
attack
have
on that
to
one.
Yeah, I got
I'm
something
gonna
to
attack
say.
go
you
for
on that
it.
one.
Go for it. I've been through 10 years of this shit.
So
You ain't gonna attack me nothing.
No,
that I ain't have.
I'm not attacked. So let me take that back. Let me retract that. I have to question that because I'm not in that position.
Fisticuffs.
You said you had that conversation. I think that played back into the communication thing. So if you are arguing with that person and I'm in a relationship with you as a woman, if I'm a woman and I'm in a relationship with you and I'm asking you what was that about, how is that none of my business if we're in a relationship?
I'm not gonna say it's none of your business. I think that the retort is none of your business. Like, I could give you an example. So, say my daughter's mother calls me and says, "Yo, I need such and such amount of money for a school trip she's going on." I might argue with you back and forth about the money, you know. And if you ask me, "Yo, what was that about?" We just arguing some shit about blah blah blah. But don't be giving her no money because she don't need it.
Oh,
That's not your
part.
business.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
like that's
the
not.
result is not your. Okay, I get what you're saying.
That relationship has nothing to do. You can ask, but your input. I'm not gonna say it's not warranted, but at the same time, I'm still going to deal in that relationship the way I've been dealing in that relationship.
Got it. I thought you meant that you didn't have to relay what the.
No, as long as you understand the platform that we are both walking into and agreeing to be into, you know that I have a child and you're willing to deal with the things that come along with it. The same way I've dated a female before. Again, I've literally walked into that situation, walked in the room and she, nah, fuck you, nigga. Who was that? My baby dad. Oh, all right, cool. Right. What am I gonna say? Yo, tell them don't be calling here and yelling at you. That's what y'all been doing for 10 years before I got here. That's your relationship. Deal with that shit. When you hang up that phone, be who you are with me.
And I have a question, right? As far as that goes, are you sharing your feelings about those conversations with the person that you're dealing with?
Generally, no. I'm not gonna open up to seek advice from the person that I'm dealing with. about the person that I used to deal
Okay.
with. I don't think that advice is going to come.
I think that's one of the most important things because I think a lot of times as men, we're sharing. We're sharing. You know what I mean? Pillow talk. Yes, we want to use. Yeah, that's a great word for it.
Yeah, sometimes.
We're pillow talking about the situation, and that person, like you said before, you don't want the next person to look at that person in the same in the form of light, or to have that. Like, oh, I know what you did to him.
For that reason,
that goes back to Yubika's conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for that reason, we've discussed this about things that we don't want to talk about on the podcast and the platform. But even outside of cameras, there's certain things that I'm not going to down talk or talk bad about my daughter's mother in hopes that somebody else looks at her in that same way. I want everybody to look at her like, yo, she's a great mom, and that's it. All the shit that we deal with back and forth, nobody else's business, and I don't care to look for, again, confirmation bias and saying, yo, can you believe this shit?
Yeah.
Because it's not, I ain't gonna say it's not your business, but I'm not seeking advice because I'm still gonna maintain that level of relationship the same way I always have.
And then
what works best for me and my daughter.
And another thing too, as far as like, because I'm in a similar situation as you. So with that being said, me personally, I always try to, whatever I'm going through, I try not to bring it or people around to understand or hear those kind of conversations, because that way there's no confusion.
Totally keep them isolated.
Isolated.
That's a tough thing.
It is tough, but you have to master that because
That's why I married my baby mom.
That's cool.
Did it reverse.
Listen, you know what? I'm not even going. You know what? We gonna say something. You gonna make me say something? Like what? Like you know what I mean? But as far as that goes, I feel like that's very important. It's how to isolate your conversations when you know what I mean. So that other person, because they care for you. So if they care for you, they feel like your best interest is their best interest. So if you have that going on, you have to be able to like, you know what? When I have this conversation, I don't need that person around because I don't want that person to be in that realm.
That's a tough thing to do.
It is, but you have to learn how to do it.
Yeah,
you have to learn.
That's why we got a podcast now.
You have to learn.
You guys got to teach the youth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Let's hear it, Mr. Six Flags.
Oh, me? I got no flags. You crazy? You
got
thought I was feeling you? No flags? No flags, bro.
Let's go. Six Flags. Great Adventures.
I don't think I honestly speaking, I think I'm reaching for this one, but I think for the most part,
Can't find anything wrong with me.
I'm perfect. I'm made in the image of God.
Child, please.
In the book of Mike, when you open the book of Mike, chapter 3, verse 6.
It has a face of him.
Hold on, right here.
It says Kush is perfection.
Right here. Right here.
Perfection.
Perfect. No.
Perfection.
No. So at the same time, no seriousness. I hate to be like beating you guys in the head with this. I just think my pettiness spews his head at every fucking point. And I'm not, I told you so, police. So when things happen, 100% I'm not I told you so, police. If I tell you something and you don't do it, I just can't wait to tell you I told you so. So that could be.
But what is that a red flag for?
Because it's annoying.
Yeah.
And I think that at the same time in relationships, it could be like a thing that the person may not feel comfortable with sharing with me sometimes. Because it's like
you gonna throw it in their face.
You think you're always right.
Yeah, because I am, and it's true. I only speak when I'm right. If I know I'm not gonna be right, I shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right. If that's the truth. If I know all the time, if I know I'm gonna be wrong, if I know there's a chance that what I'm saying may be contradictory, I'm gonna just mind my business. If you be like, yo, I'm about to go fix my carburetor and my generator, I'm gonna shut up. I never talk to you about no car shit. You tell me something wrong with your car, I'm like, that's crazy. Right? You tell me some shit that I know the answer to, you tell me some basketball shit, I'm like, oh, just do that and do that. And then when you don't do it, I already documented it in my mind and I'm gonna say it to you. So it could be a red flag a lot of times that even the length of my relationship, the person, my significant other, she'll say like, "Yo, bro, you still talking about something from like whatever?" That's like I'm like I've been like this since day one, and maybe that's a red flag that the person could have said, "Yo, this guy is really
don't know when to turn it off."
You don't know when to turn it off because I'm just the petty police. I'm out here. I got an actual hat and everything with a bat. I got the night watch.
Nah, but you know what? That is a thing that strikes a lot of females' nerves when you're right, because they always like, see, this is what he was waiting for. So they don't even want to give you your credit. That just makes them shut down in the form like, you know what? He been right, and I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to give because he's going to throw it in my face.
And they seek advice sometimes outside a relationship.
There you go.
You know she humping on somebody else.
I don't know about all that.
It could lead to that. I'm just saying.
No, it did.
From you being right.
Cry now.
Wow, he went to the
For you
massive
being
street.
petty after being right.
I hate
Because
that
no,
bitch.
it's you being petty and then the person not feeling like to share with you, but it could lead to a level of vulnerability with them sharing with somebody else. And I mean, not necessarily humping with somebody else, but they could have inappropriate
Pillow
relationship.
talk.
Pillow talk with somebody else, or talking outside your relationship that possibly may give them bad advice that affects your relationship.
But you know what? It really can't affect your relationship if she know that you was right. Even
Women
though
don't do that.
But-
I'm sorry, I'm gonna
but-
tell you right now, women.
Seeking confirmation.
Hook me up, Klein. I'm gonna tell you right now, women do not admit that they wrong. That's you might as well just call the.
That's the
funeral
only thing
home.
they admit to is not admitting to it.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick before we go, Klein. You don't even gotta show your face. Just tell me what's your red flag. Yeah, you don't even think about it.
Ladies
Red
have
flag. You don't know?
punctuality.
All right. That wraps up
Yeah.
episode. Klein, you gotta think about your red flag.
Oh,
I'm
I get to
asking
throw the
next
cards
time.
on this one.
Throw the cards.
Ready, Klein? Give me my close up. Let me see. This is gonna be a good edit. Wow. Wow. Good enough.